So today is block work again, but above the knee block snatches, and then some overhead pressing, some push pressing maybe, but that's not really. I'm gonna do them from the blocks just because I'll have them out, but I'm not gonna do heavy cleans. And then some snatch pulls, which will be at whatever I end up snatching. I don't know what I'll get up to in the block snatch today. Last week I was able to do 120 for a double, but it was kind of a struggle. Blocks out. If I could replicate it, could be good. If I could do a little bit more, that'd be even gooder. But not much to do but to get myself warmed up. Move that slightly over there. I move it a little bit more. There we go. But probably do the same thing as I did last Sunday, where I do doubles, building up, and basically just pushing as high as I can. If I could do an easy 120 double, easier than doing it will probably, if I successfully do it, will be easier than whatever my attempt was last week. So that would be most good. Then overhead press and stuff, that's kind of just by feel. Because the big thing today is the block snatch. But start at 50, 70, 90, 100, and 110. Obviously, I would like to go above that 110, but just gonna have to see how it feels with that. If I can jump to 120, that'd be great. If I can't, then that's fine. I might experiment doing full cleans instead of just doing powers, even though the weights will be really light. But we're gonna do overhead press, and honestly, we should just start at 50, and we'll just do a bunch of smaller jumps. And then block, clean plus push press. And then probably just go 70, 90, 100, and then kind of play it by feel. It's all you, brother. But it's pretty cold out. But if I want to do blocks, then I got to be at the house because my blocks are nicer here. Will be nice as it gets warmer. Just getting warmed up physically will be easier, but I'm starting to acclimate to training out in the cold more frequently, and thankfully, it being in the 30s is not good, but it's not unmanageable. When it's below 30, we're in the 20s or teens, then it just becomes more of a fight to to stay warm than to actually train hard. And that's kind of the balancing act when it gets cold. Is like, how hard can you train without actually getting cold? But get these shoes on and then start moving the bar a bit. Really, I think my illness is actually mostly done. Just have some leftover phlegm and whatnot, but it's not too bad today. Hopefully, I stop. I've been snoring more, at least according to my app, and I think that's just from the congestion that I have. So hopefully that improves, because I'm getting enough hours. It's just, obviously, snoring more is not ideal, but thankfully, it's not a typical thing. That's pretty cool. But we'll see how the block snatches feel. I did train pretty hard yesterday, but just being a different movement, it should feel all right. But you never know until you start doing it, and there's always the chance that it all feels terrible or I miss a bunch, and then just won't push as hard. But kind of give myself the leeway. If I can, it's good to push, particularly for the blocks, so I can work on the speed leading under the bar. But if it's feeling really bad, then it's not the end of the world, because I just want to just work under the speed under the bar. But first step is warming up a bit. I'm going to move these up a little bit. Or still really cold. I don't care enough about baseball. I don't like either one of those teams. But I don't watch baseball enough anymore to have a strong opinion about either one of the teams. I'm a Guardians fan technically, but I probably watched less than one game last year. Maybe one of the playoff games. I think that was about it. But it's just not. There's just too many games. There's too many games, and you're a Cleveland fan. Most of the time, the season ends in disappointment. So there's not much purpose in watching a lot of the games for most of us. Yeah, sure, the Braves. Like it. Alright. But 50 kilos to be the first warm-up set, so doubles all the way up as well. So we'll see how they feel, but they should feel all right. Pretty excited to do them. It's a fun movement, and thankfully one that's pretty good for where I'm weak. Now 70. But we'll do double here at 70, then go up to 90. Anabolic burps. It's really the key to getting stronger. Lots of burps. All right, 90, non-zero. Feels good. Like I want to jump right to 100, but trying trying to be smarter. Take the smaller jumps. I'm not doing 24 push-ups. You can keep your 50 bucks. I got a job. So you actually want me to do something, you'd be like, snatch 140 from the blocks, and I'll Venmo you 50 bucks. What is this? All right. $24,000 or push-ups? All right, 90 now. Should still move. It should move easy. It's interesting, like it feels easy. Definitely feel like I lifted weights yesterday, which is true, but the speed feels good. Yeah, I'm sure you'd give me 24,000 USD. But yeah, so it's 90, so now 100. Let's do 100, 110, 120. And 120 is where, you know, the weight became heavy last week, so hopefully this moves well, then 110 moves well, and then we can make 120 feel good, and then move on from there. See if I can push a little heavier or do additional doubles or whatever the vibes are. But we got to make 100 feel good. plate slipped. Almost died. Second one. Still moving well, which is nice. It's kind of a weird question. Is that something you do in your country? I don't really decorate my bathroom. The reason I put any flags was it's just wood back there and insulation, foam insulation, so it looks aesthetically more pleasing to have something back there versus just the empty wall. But if it upsets you too, I guess that's a double benefit. A political YouTuber lifts weights in shed, upsets sensitive child about a flag. I actually have 4 flags if you look at all the college ones too. And then all the student artwork back there. And actually 2 more. I got 6 flags. I'm like United Nations in here. Okay. He's tilted. I love it. Alright, 110 now. Yeah, I wish it was fake weights. It'd be easier. Ooh, not the easiest, but see how it looked. Yeah, second one overextended a little bit. Yeah, the fake weights, you guys got me. I mean, if you look up the weights I have are from Titan Fitness. So, I forget because it's been pieced together over the years with some equipment that I've had when I moved into my house originally, and then stuff I've added. The shed, like the building that I'm in, came with the house, so I didn't have to pay anything, additional for that. But the plates are probably the most expensive. Um, I would say if you give a conservative number as far as like a larger one. If you had $3,000 and yeah, probably, but if you had $3,000, you could get all of you could set everything in here minus the building. That would include the platform, the blocks, the plates, the bar, squat rack, like every piece of equipment besides the actual building. But you could go bare bones and get a bar and plates and a squat rack and do 99% of what I do in here. Alright, time to lock in. We'll like to do this for a double if it feels off. Then we'll do it for one, but want to get it para dos. Ah. Come on. Oh, not enough gas for the second one. Oh, that's right, though. Last week I tried it the first time, and I didn't even try to do it for a double, and I had to keep fighting for it. Just didn't have enough gas for the second one. Yeah, it was there last week. First rep was... I really shouldn't have even tried a second one, but it's alright. I mean, he's just talking to himself, so I would just let him be. He just wants attention. Alright. Whew. But we'll go ahead and hit it again. see if the first rep feels any better. If I can hammer it for a second. If not, it's fine. Anabolic burps. It's just out in front. Snot is getting very obnoxious. Oh. All right. Just gotta be more confident. That's all that was for that one. We'll hit it this time, though. We'll lock in. I just have to be confident, just go. That's all it is. Same thing as the first one, just didn't have enough gas for the second one. That's alright though. It's hard to. Doubles are hard. Whew. But this is a, I'll slide this over. It looks like it's sliding a little bit. It will stay. There we go. It's a good day to push block stuff, or block snatches, I should say. Whew. But we're gonna do another single. We're not gonna try to do a double and try to make it. That's it. Just try to make it. All right. Oh, I'm just gassed now. Oh, that stinks. We'll drop down to 100 and do some practice there. But 120 is a good weight for me to keep hammering at. They just have to be faster underneath, and it's not working. So I'm slow, but I can blame some of the the training from yesterday, but I just have to get better often and just get more volume and whatnot. So, and I kind of want to end on a make though. So we'll see what it looked like. Yeah, we'll do the smart thing and just drop down to 100. Well, I suppose so. I mean, it's just good to work hard. But drop down to 100. Hammer that for some doubles. Blah. Kind of hoping to do 5, but 4 is good. We'll see how they feel next week again when I do them. It's a nice lift and it's fun to do. For me, it's good for the speed underneath and allows you to get more snatch volume in. So I really want to push up more when I'm at those 120s and go up more, but I want the 120 to be like I'm doubling it every time I get to it. Hey, what's up? But I want the 120 to be a double that's not necessarily routine, but one I can consistently do before I try to push up again. So it's really fun to go super heavy, but as I build up everything, I think it will, I mean, it's already come back. I'm at a pretty high percentage of my lifetime best of it, but I'm just out here eating all the chalk I can. But we're going to do some overhead press now, so I'm going to experiment and do full cleans. I don't know if I actually do push presses. I might just do the overhead press and the pulls. Why are you typing in all caps? It's so aggressive. But it's hard to say that block snatches didn't go as well as last week because I missed 120 a bunch last week too. But it's nice to not have any misses up to that weight. I don't know why you need to know that. I think today will be a good just to do overhead press and get a little practice in the clean. I really don't like cleans from the blocks. An overhead press will be light enough where I'm not really challenged in the clean, but I can still do a full clean and at least think about it. Yeah, Super Bowl list today. Not watching the Super Bowl. They already wrote the script for it, so although I don't think they really care who actually wins, they just wanted to make sure the Chiefs were one of the teams in it. So they were able to massage that result. But if you complain about it, then you're conspiracy theory. But no, I mean at this point, you just watch WWE, and there's more left up to the imagination in that than in the NFL. So I'm actually curious. So I had this theory last year that after the Chiefs won, that Travis Kelce were proposed to Taylor Swift in like the celebration. So I think that's more of a possibility in this one, and I'll make that prediction again because Travis Kelce's getting older, and what I think will be good for the NFL, not from like a sports standpoint, because it's an entertainment, it's not listed as a sport, so they can they can script it like a WWE. But I think once the Chiefs win today, then Travis Kelce will propose this year and then announce his retirement shortly after. Or just keep playing, but uh, I think that would be the best thing for the NFL as far as like views and stuff. If if they're truly writing the script, so I think that's probably planned. So that could happen. Wouldn't surprise me if it didn't, but it seems too obvious for it not to, and it would make anyone. Yeah, I think it's too obvious for it not to happen. Whatever year is his last year, and I feel like it just depends on if Travis Kelsey's actually going to retire. And his production was looked down this year a lot, and he's slowing down. He looks older, so it wouldn't surprise me um, if that's what happened. Because I mean, if you think, let's say that they got the Chiefs to be up a whole bunch, and the Eagles don't have a chance of coming back, like people are going to start tuning away. But then after the game ends, if that sort of thing happens, then there's going to be a gazillion. Every single person in America is going to want to watch if that sort of thing happened, and it would blow up all the post game ratings to such a astronomical level that it seems too obvious for it not to happen. Because they could just, even if they didn't actually want to get married or whatever, they could just pay them such an absurd amount of money to do that, and then just cancel the engagement a month later, and nobody would care. So it seems too perfect of an opportunity for them to drop. Talking about the Super Bowl and the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift engagement that is incoming. But I made that proposal last year, but I think the only reason it won't is if Travis Kelce wants to continue to play. If he wants to continue to play, then I don't think they will. I think they're saving that for his last year as kind of like, he's leaving, boom, throw everything out at once. But maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist when it comes to that. Seems too obvious of a thing not to do. Since, I mean, they've already pushed the Chiefs all the way into the Super Bowl, and they gave them like every advantage. And this year is a lot worse than in years past as far as the obvious stuff. So, and they weren't really that good this year, and they really pushed them hard to get to the Super Bowl. So it might be that. Because honestly, I don't think the NFL really cares about the Chiefs itself. It's just Taylor Swift exists with the Chiefs, and they want to get basically women who like Taylor Swift that don't watch the NFL to watch the NFL because it's there. It's too obvious for it not to be true. And to push them into there allows them to make as much money as possible. But like that engagement thing, that would just, especially for like the audience that they're trying to engage, a bunch of, generic women that like Taylor Swift, that would entice them they would think for many years. But what they don't realize is that because if you know women in your real life and that don't care about the NFL and like Taylor Swift, it's very fleeting if something happens with the NFL that's related to her. So they're not going to follow up or become a fan of whatever. If that happens, they're going to be like, super engaged today, but then tomorrow the NFL won't happen. So they might continue to milk it. I mean, that's the other theory as well, is that they'll just be dating forever and it will just milk whatever it is. But I don't know. I think that's a possibility, but I guess you all have to tell me if that happens or not, because I won't be watching it. I don't much care about the Eagles or the Chiefs, and the Eagles are the better team, but a lot of teams are better than the Chiefs. But when you have the refs on your side, you really got a lot of power to do a lot. Now some overhead presses. We're doing a full clean though in the overhead press. Probably just do I don't know, sets of 5. I really hate block cleans. As much as I like block snatches, I hate block cleans. No, my sister's a Swiftie enjoyer. I don't like generic. I mean, I purchase great value products from Walmart, so I have no problem with generic products. I just don't care for it for as far as music goes, and I don't necessarily have any sort of like hatred of Taylor Swift. I just don't. She's just so irrelevant to me because of just how just average like that. I don't even want to say her music's bad. It's just mid. Like it's just she's just a generic person that has been planted by the industry to be a rich person throughout her life because she doesn't really have any like she's not really that attractive. She's not really that good at music, but she has a lot of resources growing up to push her into the spotlight, which is fine and dandy if you have those and take advantage of them. She clearly has marketed herself, but um, I just don't have any desire to listen to um, any of her music really because it's just not that good. That's it's and what's interesting with Swift is that because she wasn't really that or she isn't she was and isn't really that attractive or that talented as far as her music goes. Her family or all of the people around her pushed her into country music because it's easier to market and you don't have to be as good at music to do country music because it's just a lower genre of music. So as far as like country standard, she was higher, and then was able to parlay that into making generic pop music, which um, hilariously enough, this is not like it's more of a rag on the whole music industry. But I think it's Sabrina Carpenter. I think she's another like generic blonde woman that's popular right now. But I heard a song. It might have been her. It might have been someone else. But I was convinced it was a Taylor Swift song. Like it sounded. I was like, oh, it's a Taylor Swift song. Like it's on. It was on the radio or something. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. And then it was like, no, no, Sabrina Carpenter. I'm like, it's just not. I have no. I never heard of that person before that. Um, Actually, I don't know if I've. I think I've listened to one of her songs just to see how much she sounded like Taylor Swift. But when they're all generic, it's hard to really differentiate them too much. Um, yeah, I mean, like, and that's fine. Like, I don't think she's necessarily bad. Like, I just think like it's kind of like if I were to go to shoot free throws. Like, I'm good at shooting free throws, but I also don't think I should be in the NBA. And that's how I kind of view Taylor Swift. Like, yeah, she can sing fine, but she's not like a amazing singer. And that's true of a lot of pop singers. But when you have a lot of those family resources to kind of push you into the spotlight, that's what it takes nowadays because you don't really have to make your own music or be good at singing because a lot of it can be produced for you and massaged to make it sound better. So then you can just constantly be letting out new music that other people make for you. So she's just kind of a marketing machine now. So it's more to me it's more interesting the psychology of her that like if you have this much money, like I don't personally understand how you get that much money and want to continue to work and want to go and like do stuff. I think it's just ego, and I think that's where like a lot of those celebrities have like mental health problems is because they can't stop when they have accomplished everything you can. Like I don't know what more she wants to accomplish as far as music goes. She has more money than she could ever spend, and she doesn't have to work very hard to do music now because everything can be produced for her. So she can. I guess that's probably why it's not really much work for her. She just has to go and like dance on the. That's probably the most work she does is when she's at her concert and has to, dance around and stuff. But the music and the writing, like it's all done for her, and not just her, like every main person. I keep mentioning her, but it's like it's true of the Sabrina Carpenter or I don't know why that's there, or any sort of like big person that's like randomly popular. Industry plants are really common, so it's not really a dog on her. But I just don't understand how you get like she is at the pinnacle of everything, and I don't know. You think she just want to relax, but I'm not her. If I had $1 billion, I wouldn't be doing anything other than lifting weights, maybe. Certainly wouldn't be going on tours and dancing around. But maybe she's a psychopath and enjoys that. All right. I really want to do powers, but I know it's not necessarily even better to do full, but it's just more difficult. So mentally, I should do full cleans, even though it's only 60, so it's not even heavy. All right. So I'll do another set of 5 with a press after I get the mental courage to clean this. Easy peasy. Lifting and complaining about pop stars. She is kind of she kind of sleeps around a lot too, which is kind of funny. She's had a lot of different famous boyfriends, but I think most people do that if they had that much wealth and influence. Kind of play the field. I don't listen to country. Oh, well, yeah, I suppose, I liked when Zach Tellender called his music not country, or he tried to, like, differentiate. It's just the most, I, I can't stand it, but it's not, this is a very different complaint. I don't have an issue with him making music or anything like that, but, I just think country just sounds terrible in almost every context. So I don't have an issue with him making music per se. I just think all country music sounds terrible. So by default, his country music sounds terrible. Oh, creatine. I do take creatine. Sorry, I'm blind. If I don't have my glasses on, I'm actually blind. But and I think it's fine that like he has a different interest and he's pursuing that. But I did find his his video talking about him cutting weight interesting. How basically he's crash dieting, and I do appreciate that he's not he's telling other people not to do what he's doing. But the method from which he's trying to lose weight is not a sustainable way, and a way that's going to maintain. So it's just that, and like the fact that he's smoking cigarettes and using nicotine is really idiotic, and it's just not like a. It's just hard to maintain if you are kind of crash dieting like that, and because it's such an unhealthy way to do, like you're going to gain the weight back. And his argument at the end was that he could just do it again, but it's like you shouldn't want to be crash dieting multiple times. It's kind of like a wrestler, like you don't want to cut weight a bunch of times. It's just not healthy to do. Doing it slow and in control is better. But I don't know. I don't. He's interesting now because he's just I think since his girlfriend a couple years ago cheated on him and left him, he's kind of not necessarily changed in a bad way, but he just seems different from that time, which I think most people would change. But thankfully, I don't smoke cigarettes or use nicotine or anything like that. If I want to lose weight, I'll just eat less. Like it's more of mental toughness than anything. That's kind of weird, Mr. FBI, because I'm also an FBI agent, so I also see your search history too. So we're like that Spider-Man meme right now. We're pointing at each other. All right, let's get 70 on there. I think I'm actually going to stay at 70 and try to do not necessarily like slow reps, but more like pauses or like more controlled on the eccentric, I suppose, but not like intentionally slow. Just not as dynamic. Moving slow is easy for me though. So we get 5, and then keep this all at 70. Try to get this phlegm out. That's what you look up, Mr. FBI? You don't have to tell us your search history. I can already see it. That's all on you, though, buddy. Or goofball. But is this what you? I mean, do you just use your like profile thing to go and do this on multiple live streams just to be goofy? Let me put my glasses on. You're writing too much for me. My old eyes. Now they're all fogged up because of the heat. Yeah, I've never had a coach. I think the coach just wanted you to help build the blocks for him. He didn't actually want to coach you. He just felt guilty for making you have to build wood blocks with them. Yeah, sure. I'll teach you how to do snatches. Come here, hold this. Hold this wrench, son. Although you don't use a wrench to build wood blocks. Just nails and wood. Thomas, I'm pretty sure you didn't type a real place there. Or you horribly misspelled it. We're gonna do these sets at 70 here. Yeah. I don't really need music for these sets, though. Noise cancellation got really good for a second. I was like, the heater turned off, but it's the noise cancellation that worked. We're doing one more set, and what I want to get better at is doing. Oh no, I gotta do pulls. What am I saying? We do pulls. The pulls would be easy though. I'm gonna give myself the luxury of doing a power in the last one. Nah, actually I'll man up and do a full one. It's so not fun to do full cleans off the blocks. Or powers, any version of it. That is for sure. But news you can use. Alright, sorry. Got an email. So we'll do one more set and then do some pulls. Pulley boys. And those should be pretty easy. Yeah, I always try to slip on my back. I end up just rolling around and stuff, but I prefer to sleep on my belly, but I kind of have to put an arm up under my pillow and then it falls asleep, so ends up not being ideal in the middle of the night when my big meaty arm is there. Yeah, that's I mean that's just a good thing to do in general to like be exhausted to sleep or to like before you go to bed or whatever. It's definitely difficult to do, but I don't know. It's been weird the last couple nights because I've been all phlegmy that my sleep quality hasn't been as good, or at least I don't feel like it's been that good. Like my snoring numbers have been up, which is not good. But I only really worry about the snoring is if it's really high and I'm not sick. Like obviously, if you're sick, it's going to be sound bad. But if I was completely clear airways and I had really bad snoring, then I'd be more concerned. But when the snoring's high, I think that the quality is not as good. But it's also one of those tricky things. It's like as long as you get the good amount of hours, it's probably okay for the most part. Um, but yeah, I generally try to start sleeping on my back, and then I usually kind of flop around. But ideally, I would just be in one position and go right to sleep, but not always the case. But hopefully, as my sinuses and stuff clear out, the snoring goes back down to normal. Which, based on how. No. I've tried to use one, but it felt so uncomfortable that I was like, no, I'm not. That's something that once I'm trying to get a general practitioner to go and like do an annual physical. If that's something that they recommend you get in like a sleep study and all that, then I'll partake in that. But I had tried one before because there was like a brief period where you can buy them on Amazon without a doctor's prescription. Now you can't. I don't know why that happened or what happened with that or why it came and went, but I went for a little bit and I tried it for I want to say like probably 5 nights and like there wasn't a single night where I could get it to where I could actually like fall asleep with it comfortably. Um, oh, I thought you said sleep like a what you call it the like CPAP. That's what I misread your thing. I have an app that records. Well, I can't look. I forget what it is. I know it's a orange app, but yeah, it will like track snoring and stuff. I don't listen to it back. It will just say like you snored for X amount of minutes or hours or whatever. And so I just kind of use that as like a general rule of thumb. Um, yeah, for me, it's an app on my phone. Like I have a Google Pixel Watch, and I experimented yesterday with wearing that when I went to bed, and so I might try to do that again, but I have to let it charge at some point because I actually need to use it at school when I teach to help with music, to pause and stuff. It's a lot easier than always pulling out my phone. Um, but yeah, that will kind of like track steps and stuff. So that works with Fitbit, and it will do stuff with that. So I play around with that. I'm not I'm certainly not someone that really concerns myself with how many steps I get, with how much I exercise in general, and how much I walk around when I teach. Generally, I'm always above that 10,000 mark, whether I want to be or not. And then, however you count, exercise, this kind of training into steps or whatever. Um, it's hard to really put that in accurately because if you just put in like lifting weights, like you could, an average person is going to burn X amount of calories, but I don't know if I burn more or less with the way I train, being someone that's more advanced with that. So I don't know. It's too hard for me to really think about. All I know is I can track my body weight, how I feel, and how many hours I sleep and all that stuff. Everything else is just kind of generally noise. And if like weird stuff happens, like if my snoring was like 5 hours in a night, or if like my pulse on my watch, it's like it's at 150 all day long, then it's like then I'd be more concerned. But if everything's kind of like within normal ranges, then I don't stress too much about all that extra stuff because a lot of that's not the most accurate tool to measure different things. But um, yeah, once I get an annual physical, then I'll probably know more because I'll get like blood work and stuff and all of that good stuff to know where everything stands as far as my health goes. But it's always good to kind of be monitoring stuff, particularly like tracking sleep. Just how much you sleep, I think, is more important than like how much you snore and stuff, unless it's something that you're really trying to improve. Which really, for me, I just need to not be sick. Then I probably won't snore. I know my dad has a CPAP, but um, he's not overweight or anything, so that's where like I might need to look into that in the future. But he always snored when I was a kid, so my snoring, anytime I've listened to the recordings, I actually don't snore that much unless I'm sick. I think that's probably true of most average people. They snore more when they're ill. Oh, all right. phlegm. That's enough overhead pressing for the moment. Get these blocks put away and then start to do some pulls. I think I need to do more than, I need to pull less frequently. Last week I experimented with pulling more frequently, just doing 3x2s, but I think you pull more sets with more volume with them and not as frequent. Back to normal kind of a thought process with them. Oh, now for the best part of blocks. Putting them away. Whew. Never done boxing. It's interesting. Yeah, I flat bench a couple times a year, and I just never like it. So it always, I think for me, I get so much chest out of anything I do overhead. It's kind of obnoxious. I've gotten a sore chest from push pressing before, and it could be leaning back and whatnot. But I don't necessarily think I don't need to ever do any chest stuff ever. But it just gets in the way more than anything. I respond really well whenever I do like flat bench. My chest does, I should say. So I get like a really big pump whenever I do any sort of chest exercise, and it's not good for mobility. So I don't really do a lot. Doing a lot of tricep stuff. Dumbbell pullovers have been like the main thing that I've been doing, and I like those a lot because it's triceps, some lower back or upper back, and then it actually works my chest a little bit too. I don't know why you're calling me Jimmy though. It's kind of weird. But no, I don't do any. I've never done MMA, boxing, wrestling, or anything. Oh, the questions are getting weird. Lists are always weird. YouTube Live brings out the weirdest of fellas. All right. For whooping cough. All right. So do the first hit here at 110, and I feel like they do. It happens frequently. What's really weird is the people that will come in and ask about politics, which is like kind of an odd thing. Um, I would say as far as like who inspired me to train, I just watched my dad and just started lifting weights when I was a kid and just kind of built from there. But yeah, I think people just like to go and try to get attention because they can try to get that instantaneous reaction from saying something that they think will get a reaction out of people. But it actually kind of works out for me in my favor because I work with children. So it's beneficial to be non-reactive when you hear, something goofy, or something like that could be interpreted in a negative way. The non-reaction is often the best reaction, and you can see, in the chat, kind of me demonstrating that there, because like people want attention, and that's usually what they do these things for, and it just comes from immaturity, which is fine. I'm sure some people aren't that old that use this app, but when they want attention, they try to get it, which is also fine. But once they don't get it, then they kind of get bored and then probably move on to another live stream. But they probably have like a couple of phrases that they go on, or just like they see what the topic is and then try to say something goofy with related to it, which yeah, it's useful when you are, for me to be more stoic when you're dealing with student to student conflicts, because students will come up and be very emotional about something that happens, and um, I think it's just good practice not to elevate your emotions to that level. It's not hard because it's usually like really little kid drama, so it's not like a super emotionally charged thing, and it's better because like one kid will come up upset like so and so is doing this, and the other kid comes up because the other kid was up there, and then they're both upset, and there's it's important to save the emotion for when it's important. And I've mentioned that before to classes that like if I yell, it's like it's serious because it means like it's a safety thing, and that's what I try to save it for. Is not even when I'm super exacerbated or mad, which is thankfully very rare, but like there's a fire drill, like stop. Like if I'm yelling at you and I'm like visibly angry, it means like get in line or whatever. Like it's safety or like being really disrespectful. There's some things that will really charge me up, and I think probably one of the biggest things is being disrespectful to another student, particularly if that student has special needs and if they're upset about something that student can't control. And so I don't necessarily flip out or anything, but that will be like a very strict consequence for me. That happened in was it Friday or Thursday? But there's a student, he has a physical disability, so he still will do like the exercise, the warm up thing that we do as a class, and he doesn't move as fast. And there's a student that was mad that the students in front of him weren't moving as fast, and the student who physically could not, like he was doing everything correct, just wasn't going as fast as the one kid liked. And they're first graders or whatever, so it's not the end of the. It's a teaching moment, but you remember there, it's like it's like you could be mad at some kids or be want to tell the kids to move faster, but when I'm looking at whoever so and so and like they're doing everything right and you're getting mad, like that's where I'm gonna have a problem. Like we're gonna have a problem, and you're not gonna do warm up, whatever it happens to be. Thankfully, kids are generally really nice, so I don't have to have those heart to hearts very frequently. But yeah, if there's like a kid with a disability and another kid is like mean to that kid, um, and kind of like a hawk to that sort of thing, because that's my special ed background. But it's it's something that I'll really address very very rapidly, and probably more aggressive than peer to typical peer to typical peer. But I think that's just the morally correct thing to do. But we'll do a triple here. Just get some pull and volume in. I think honestly we'll just go to 130 and do my pulls there. I'll be able to hold my positions fine and just be able to be good. Legs are definitely sore from scooting. Oh, boogers are awesome. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised you're still here, Kyle, so I'm pretty impressed that you'd stay by just to keep trolling. It's good commitment, I honestly. But I don't need your $50. So that's fine. Got my channel to 4,000 watch hours. I do 24 push-ups for that. So I can monetize, but $50 ain't gonna move the needle. The guy really wants to see me do some push-ups. We need to roll. All right. Everybody's late day when you do weightlifting, but all right, Kyle, go do your push-ups, buddy. Guess that's his special interest. Because they're kind of like Lasha pulls. Which honestly, I kind of prefer. I feel like I can do reps easier with it. No, Ryan, I am not. Is your special interest, Kyle? Let's see if can I even type in the chat? No, not on my phone. I can't. I've never done that. I'll take that off. No. It's weird, I can't, like, myself, like, type in the chat. Interesting. I mean, like, actually, Kyle, I can't do pull-ups in here. I don't have, like, it would take me about, I would have to really, like, set them up, because I'd have to get the bar on the rack, and I don't have a good setup for it, so, that much I can't really do at the house, very easily. I could probably set them up on the squat rack with a bar, but with a weightlifting bar, it just isn't, it spins and stuff. So it's just not it's not very easy to even do like a single one just because the bar rolls around and stuff. But no, I'm doing pulls. I squatted yesterday. You can go look at my channel and you could see that I did a 210 kilo squat for a triple yesterday. And I'll be squatting again tomorrow. Why would I record me doing cardio? Cardio of what? Me jump roping or something? Like, you just want the most random stuff. You know what you should say is you should do some snatch pulls. And I'll say, alright, I'm on it. You should peer pressure me to do 5 sets of 3 instead of 3 sets of 3 of these. That's the kind of peer pressure I need, Kyle. Hey, that's I can't do that kind of stuff. I'm a teacher. That's for you, slam bars. That can be your niche in the fitness community. The chalk on the toes. Yeah, change your username to chalk toes. 94 pounds of chalk on my toes. Also, like how I'm using a mason jar for water. Most Chad container. No, I just eat chalk. It's my main sustenance. It's magnesium carbonate. Usually that and water. Mix them together. Super delicious. That's how you get yacked. Alright. Third set here. We'll do 5 though. Even though Kyle didn't tell me to do 5, I will do 5. I'll peer pressure myself. Oh. The 110 set doesn't count. This was the third with 130. Not really trying to move it faster, just trying to move it close and trying to keep my hips in the correct position. I'm not trying to get that high pull pop either. I'm mostly just thinking about keeping my hips down. Prevent my back from taking over. What's my blood type? It's a magnesium carbonate. Type magnesium carbonate. That is my blood type. Now you're asking the important question. What's your blood type? Do push-ups, do squats, do cardio. What's your blood type? What's wrong with you, Kyle? I thought people named Kyle were just supposed to like punch holes in walls and drink Monster Energy drinks. Are the Kyles evolving? I sleep 23 hours a day. I wake up for 1 hour and to train, then I go back to sleep. I got that hibernating bear schedule. And I have a little machine that as I'm sleeping, when I get to the 23rd hour, it pours my pre-workout directly in to wake me up. And I immediately start my first working set, no warm-ups, and then work out for 59 minutes because I have to end early so I get back to bed for my next 23 hours of sleep. My pre-workout is magnesium carbonate. And then now we have Russian. Now he's back on the push-ups. It's my special interest, and you need to just do them. Alright, fourth set here. One more. This actually feels like a really good weight. It's challenging, but I'm still able to move it. To move it. I don't know. Not what Kyle said. Probably the opposite. I don't know. I wouldn't tell my younger self anything because you live and learn for all the different things that you go through. And I don't think I did anything radically wrong enough. Probably just tell my younger self to buy Bitcoin and Apple stock when I was in college, or financial advice. That'd be all I would say. Back in, 20, as early as I could. All your money that you have for the next 5 years, just buy Bitcoin. You know what sad slam bars? When I first was introduced to Bitcoin, it was at 13,000 for one Bitcoin. I didn't buy very much of it then, but like it existed for it, and you could buy it. Like Coinbase was there. So that, but like I think it's honestly even now. Going back, I've been smarter to tell myself to buy. I don't know if Tesla existed as a stock back then, but a stock. It's just easier to move it around necessarily than Bitcoin. But buy Bitcoin and Tesla stock. Really, any stock. Yep, that's true of a lot of people, but I don't know. It's like one of those things. It's like you learn how to be smarter with your money through those mistakes, and um, it's if I could go back and 10 years ago, you could be the richest person in the world. Just force yourself to liquidate all your assets back then and buy stocks, but you can't go back. That would be the time machine, though. It'd be super easy. So yeah, that would be what I would tell my younger self. Hey, just buy all the stock that you can. Every penny that you have for the next 5 years, just buy every stock that you can. Then in 2019, liquidate it all, because then you'll know what Robinhood is, and buy as many puts as you can for 2021, and then I'd be a billionaire. So that's what I would tell my younger self. Buy every stock, whatever stock you want. Tesla, if it exists, just buy Tesla, all your money into Tesla. And then in 2019, liquidate no matter what it's at, and buy puts on anything, or buy the VIX. you know, and I just want the simulation to let me get stronger. I'm cool with everything else going, even killing my life. Just let me get a little bit stronger. Then the Matrix can do whatever it wants. Just let me snatch 140. Let me clean jerk 170, and I won't complain about the Matrix anymore. There's Kyle. That's called legal methods. Other ways to make money. It's called working a job and investing. Yeah, you can still invest. Like, even though I don't have a time machine, and you can still buy stocks and put money into retirement and stuff like that. Um, you know, if Kyle, instead of trying to give me $50 to do a bunch of push-ups, would get me to 4,000 watch hours, then I have an alternative way to make money via YouTube. But I make $0 right now because I'm not monetized. I think I'm at 1,600 hours. I need 4,000. So what you could do, Kyle, is watch every one of my videos on a loop until I'm at 4,000. And then I'll send you $50. Alright. Last set. That's all she wrote. Pulls were like the perfect weight. I just need to do them all at 130 like that. Or like make them feel that good. But that was a perfect weight to pick for today. I guess. Depends on what kind of workout. If I don't know. I mean, like, when you work out so much, like, I don't know if it makes you feel energized or just makes you feel normal. Because I train so frequently, I think a lot of that, like, the endorphins are off. But, like, right after you do, like, a big lift, then, yeah, but, no, I just feel, like, more relaxed and accomplished after I train. Especially if it's a good training session. So I don't actually think I get more energy or feel energized. I feel happier. Maybe that's the energy. I am starving right now, though. Time to go eat some magnesium carbonate. do have to probably brush the bar off and then put the sleeping bag on it so it doesn't accumulate moisture. Yeah, do they, Kyle? I feel like I have sufficient energy right now, so if I truly wanted a quick boost of energy before I did something, I would do like a 3-minute cardio thing, like rowing or something. As far as like that endorphin boost, you get more, I feel, from like a little bit of cardio than necessarily from like a strength training movement. You just feel more accomplished when you do cardio or strength training. You feel more accomplished when you do strength training, but cardio is good for the heartbeat increasing, but you get some of those benefits. The BNDF. It's also a lot easier to go and do 3 minutes of cardio than it is to go and do a strength training session for energy. Especially when you don't care about your cardio, you don't have to like think about it, you just go and do it. I had to do that when I was in, I didn't have to do it. In college, I'd ride my bike. I actually don't know how far away it was, but I'd ride my bike every day to the gym. It wasn't super hilly, but yeah, it was certainly, it's tricky because like obviously the cardio, like riding the bike to the gym is probably like you get a little endorphin boost from that, but also just being in the sun as well, and it being summer, because that's when I would do it mostly is when it was summer break, and I still lived in my apartment at the time, so I don't know. It is a multifactorial thing, but yeah, certainly the bike riding. I don't necessarily. It's weird. I don't necessarily miss it. Like I had a bike down here, and it was my dad's bike, and same one I used in college. But I just never ride it down here. It's not. It's not so much that I'm against bike riding or anything, but there's not really any. Like I'm just gonna walk my neighborhood versus riding it, and there's also like bad parts of the sidewalk to where it's not. It's actually not safe to do that. But my college is real nice because it wasn't really busy in the summer, traffic and stuff, so you didn't have to worry about anything, and obviously no one's on the campus really, so it was really easy to get there and back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that or like even if you need to stretch, like you're already kind of warmed up for the stretching. It's kind of hard to explain, but once you've already moved around a lot, then it is. You have kind eyes. That's a weird one. Um, but it's like you're ready to start warming up for training. Um, but yeah, I think there is definitely some benefit to that, especially it's like the cardio type like that where it's not really that strenuous to do. You're not like running to the gym. That would just tear you up, and make you not train as well. The bike is like a perfect thing, especially like you said, it's like a mile, a little bit hilly, so it's not like you're going down. You're not just coasting the whole way, but you're also not struggling. Driving, riding your bike 5 or 6 miles, or going, doing a bike race to get there. But yeah, I do miss those days. But I think it's more so the fact that I didn't really have anything to do other than like just nothing and then train. So those are fun times, and summer breaks are always the best time of year, just because there's more. It's less that like I really enjoy my job now, but obviously if I'm not working, I'm more there's less for me to do. I can sleep in and relax and all of that. So what will be really nice is in a couple of years when I don't have any more grad school stuff to do, and I'm really have the summers completely empty. Even though even with grad school classes, it's not as if I have to necessarily not necessarily busy the whole day with that, especially if you stay on top of it. But a documentary, no, I don't even. Are you not allowed near elementary schools? You got something to tell us? It's kind of a weird thing to say, but yeah, no, I'm not doing push-ups. now, like, I don't want to do them ever just to spite you. That's a that's why I can't have a coach, because like I'm not good at listening to other people tell me to do stuff. When it regards to lifting, no, I'm not doing any. But I'm gonna go and eat some food. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you for stopping by, Slam. Kyle, hopefully you find someone to do your push-ups for you. Maybe you could just go do your 24. I'll talk to you guys later.